In the dimly lit corridor of an abandoned hospital, where the only illumination flickers from the remnants of a storm-stricken power grid, Danny Hughes lay in a state of semi-conscious delirium. The bullet, which had mercilessly torn through his face, had not only marred his visage, but also ushered him into a world where reality and hallucinations merged into an indistinguishable maelstrom. The doctors, whose appearances were now as ghostly as the patients they tended to, whispered of a grim prognosis, permanent hallucinations, a gateway to a realm unseen by the unafflicted. As Danny's eyes fluttered open, the shadows cast by the feeble lights morphed into sinister forms. Astral serpents and spiders, their ethereal bodies shimmering with a malevolent glow, writhed and scurried across the walls, feeding on the despair that saturated the air. These creatures, Danny soon realized, were not mere figments of his imagination, but were intrinsically linked to the terror that had seized the city, the gambling cult known as the 3000. Cloaked in anonymity behind their dog-faced masks, the 3000 had woven themselves into the fabric of urban legend. Their modus operandi was as bizarre as it was horrifying. They lured unsuspecting souls with the promise of fortune in their golden casino, a den of vice and desperation. To refuse their invitation was to sign one's death warrant, for those who declined found themselves targets of inexplicable, often fatal, accidents. Danny, with his newfound, cursed sight, began to perceive the true nature of the 3000. The astral vermin that feasted on misery were not merely attracted to human suffering. They were the harbingers of the cult's dark influence. Each victim of the 3000 added to the festering pool of despair, empowering these spectral parasites further. As he lay in the tenebrous embrace of the hospital, Danny's mind raced with questions. How had the 3000 come to wield such malevolent power? What was the source of their unholy alliance with the astral predators? And most importantly, why him? Why was he spared the fate of the others, only to be cursed with visions that threatened to unravel his sanity? Determined to find answers, Danny resolved to use his affliction as a weapon against the 3000. If the astral snakes and spiders were indeed linked to the cult, perhaps he could trace them back to their source. It would be a dangerous gambit, one that would require him to navigate not only the physical dangers posed by the cult, but also the psychological torment wrought by his hallucinations. The path ahead was fraught with peril, a journey into the heart of darkness that promised no return. Yet for Danny, there was no choice. To confront the 3000 and unravel the mystery of his visions was to confront the very essence of fear itself. And in that confrontation, perhaps, lay the key to his salvation or his doom.